Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of F1 in a week. As the season ended last weekend, I don't know when I'll be next doing F1 in a week. It might only have to be in a few months when the new season starts. Or maybe in February when testing starts or something, I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. But let's get into this episode and talk about this week's news. So obviously the main thing this week is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Nico Rosberg won the World Championship, his first World Championship, stopping Hamilton getting his fourth World Championship. Rosberg got the World Championship in Abu Dhabi in the final race. So before I talk about whether I think he's deserving champion or whatever, let's just talk about the race itself. So Hamilton won the race, he dominated it, and he was so dominant he was able to he tried backing up Rosberg into Verstappen, Vettel and Ricciardo, etc. to try and get them to overtake him so he could win the championship. But it didn't work out for him, and yeah, Rosberg followed home second to take the World Championship. After that, Vettel was third. Verstappen had another brilliant drive to come fourth. He got spun out by, I can't remember if it was Hulkenberg or Perez, but one of the Force Indians. At the first corner, Verstappen somehow came back to come fourth. Brilliant race to him. And we had Ricciardo up there and Raikkonen up there somewhere. Can't even remember who rounded out the top 10. Massa got a point in his final race. Button retired in his final race. I think Alonso got some points. I can't remember exactly. To be honest, I'm sorry about that. It's been a few days since the race. I was mainly bothered about the guys up front, obviously. But you know, we tried. And as for, so now I think we have to talk. I've talked about the Grand Prix, albeit very briefly. We have to now talk about our new world champion, Nico Rosberg. I will try to be fair because I am a Hamilton fan, but I'll try to be fair when I say this. Firstly, it's probably a good thing for the sport that he won rather than Hamilton, because it's always good to have a new champion in any sport, whether it be football, tennis, F1, rugby, cricket. I don't know, whatever you guys watch, I'm sure you know it's good to have a new champion in a sport. Apart from if you're in athletics, then it might be cheating a bit, but whatever. And so yeah, it is a good thing for the sport. However, if you look at this season, it's quite fair to suggest that maybe Rosberg is also one of the most luckiest champions. So if you look at like Malaysia, had Hamilton's engine not blown up in Malaysia, he would be champion for sure. So surely then we could say Rosberg's been lucky, which wouldn't be. And then also, not just Malaysia, had in China and Russia, Hamilton had failures in qualifying. Not his fault, he lost points because of that. Obviously the crash in Spain is debatable whose fault that is, so we won't go into that one for now, although I know exactly what I think. But at the same time, you have to point out that also Hamilton has had a few races where he's been a bit off. So first of all, in Australia, Bahrain, Italy and Japan he had bad starts, and I think in Australia he still came second, and then Bahrain he was able to get back to second, Italy is able to get back to second, but in Japan he only got back to third. That's a particularly bad start, I remember. So maybe you could suggest that if he had better driving, and also he had in the European Grand Prix in Azerbaijan he had a bad race and bad qualifying, he crashed out in qualifying. But when does Hamilton do that? And then what was the other? Oh yeah, in Singapore he struggled all weekend for whatever reason. A bit like I am on the screen here, but this is Abu Dhabi. And so yeah, he lost points. Step out, but Rosberg's also, you must remember, not a lot of people have been saying this, but Rosberg also had some bad races. Monaco comes to mind, of course. He really struggled in Monaco. And then in Austria he lost points because of driving. He would have been better off just letting Hamilton through it rather than running him wide, because then Rosberg still could have come second. And then again in Germany he only came fourth, which for a Mercedes driver is not too impressive. So based on that, you'd have to suggest that maybe Rosberg it's a lucky champion, because a big difference between them this season has been reliability, and Hamilton has been worse off, so maybe he's a lucky champion. Also, Rosberg has never... Quite funny how I said this would be a fair video and I'm just ripping into Rosberg so much, but why not, who cares. Rosberg has never really overtaken Hamilton wheel to wheel on track, in equal cars. I don't think it's ever happened. Apart from at the start, but when they're fully racing, based on racing ability, and that's all it is, I can't remember Rosberg actually overtaking Hamilton, or being able to properly defend from Hamilton. The only time I can remember him defending from Hamilton a bit was at the end of the 2015 season, in the last couple of races. But we don't know how hard Hamilton was trying, because it was he had won the championship already. So maybe he's not so deserving. But he's world champion, he's still a great driver, even though Hamilton might still be better. Apparently the team principals who voted who they thought the best driver was, they said Hamilton. So maybe that says something. But he is still a great driver, and Rosberg won it. And we have to go to next season. Talking of next season, they were doing some tyre testing the last couple of days at the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi, and with the bigger tyres they used sort of what was basically the 2015 cars, but a bit lowered, looked lowered. I don't know exactly what happened in terms of changes, and yeah, the bigger tyres, and yes, it did look amazing. Next season, in terms of how the cars will look, at least, could be pretty awesome. Maybe in the thumbnail I can find some type of picture. No promises for that one. And Hamilton was driving there, and he said he felt ill, so he stopped, so Pascal Wehrlein took over in the Mercedes. And of course we have to talk about I don't know why I haven't talked about this yet. Hamilton still might be punished by Mercedes for backing up Rosberg, because the team told him to hurry up, so they made sure they won the race, but he didn't. So will he be punished? I don't think he should be, because they won the constructors. Does it really matter if they win the race? But tell me what you think in the comments and stuff. But as I said in the test, he did drive in the test a little bit, but not the whole day. And finally, in terms of F1 news, I want to talk about the calendar for next year. It came out today, Germany, there won't be a German Grand Prix next year. And apparently, according to the BBC anyway, the Brazilian Grand Prix is in doubt. And if there is no Brazilian Grand Prix, I'd be really sad. Anyway, we're coming towards the end of the video. You can see my attempt of doing the donuts in Nico Rosberg's car here. Yeah, because he won the championship. It might be the end of the series for now. So I hope you enjoyed the video, looking at these donuts and the music in the background and stuff. Please like and subscribe. Tell me whatever you think about it in the comments, maybe about the whole season or whatever. And I'll see everyone here very, very soon. Goodbye.